From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger, and we got that cool and unsettled weather pattern through Friday, but it's going to be warmer and drier by the weekend, and it looks like a pleasant weekend in store for us and dry and mild conditions for a good portion of next week, if not all of next week. But again, today we still have showers. There could be some thunderstorms here, I think, across the board. As you start heading west, as we start getting closer to the evening hours, the chances start to diminish here for places like Trinity County and the North Coast, for example. So here's what happened this morning. A couple of areas that I was watching. Number one, you did see that rain coming in from Sacramento, working its way to the north and east. Number two, there was a batch of showers that developed just off the coast of southwestern Humboldt County, and was thinking that would bring some rain for southern Humboldt County, maybe even Eureka, but that pretty much just fizzled out by the time it made its way onshore. So there were a few light sprinkles and some showers out of that in southwestern Humboldt County. In the meantime, the bigger story was off to the south and east. Now, some of that rain that you see here did impact places like Chico and Oroville with some light rain, and also, of course, some heavier rainfall to the east of that in Plumas County and making its way into Lassen and even now into southeastern portions of Modoc County. You'll also notice a little bit of light shower activity west, northwest of Redding. So let's take a look at Futurecast. And, this is the HRRR forecast model. You didn't see much of a transition from the radar to the forecast image. That's because the HRRR forecast model takes the current data, including radar, and then advances it from there. So you can see here, most of the rain at this point is off to the east of the valley, into Plumas and making its way into southeastern Modoc, Lassen County, and even eastern portions of Butte County. But what we've got our eyes on also is that moves off to the north and east. We still have a few showers developing on the west side of that. So east of the valley, some scattered showers here in the mountains of Butte, Tehama, Shasta County. Also, Modoc, Lassen, Plumas County seeing that activity. But you'll also notice for the valley westward, we're actually seeing some showers begin to develop. And as we go into the late afternoon and evening hours, we may start to see some thunderstorms popping up. Now, our in-house forecast model is a little bit more aggressive on not only the timing, but also the placement of where these thunderstorms begin to develop. So sometime between 3 and 6 o'clock this afternoon, we may start to see some thunderstorms developing in parts of the valley, in particular around Corning, Red Bluff, Redding, northward, including northern Trinity County and into Siskiyou County as well. But this model, the HRRR forecast model, by 9 o'clock tonight, brings in some stronger thunderstorms, what we call nocturnal thunderstorms, working their way into most of the valley. Now, I think places like Chico, Willows, Oroville, you could already be looking at the potential for this as well. And then going into the midnight hour, you see how it slowly starts to shift off to the east. Now, that's as far as this particular forecast model goes out. Let's watch the transition from the HRRR forecast model to our in-house forecast model. All right, you see how the in-house forecast model has it shifted a little bit more to the east. So again, bringing in all of this activity about 2 to 3 hours sooner than what the HRRR forecast model is. So again, there's that little bit of a window there. But midnight tonight, you can see here, and as we go into the early morning hours, a lot of the activity now north and east of the valley. So Lassen, Plumas, Modoc County, all seeing those thunderstorms. Then on the back side of that low pressure, it's going to come back into parts of the valley. So early Friday morning, Redding, Red Bluff, Corning, Chico, basically east of I-5, has potential for a shower, maybe even a thunderstorm early Friday morning. Then by midday Friday, most of it's off to the east. You can see as we go through the afternoon, there may be some development just east of the valley in the mountains of Shasta, Tehama, Butte County. But also look it off to the west. West of Willows, for example, you're seeing a little bit of activity here. So could we see a stray shower, maybe even a thunderstorm in the valley Friday afternoon? Listen, it's not out of the question, but I think most of it will be east of the valley. And there's Friday at 6 p.m. Thunderstorms in Modoc, Lassen, and Plumas counties, as expected, as we've been talking about. Then, once it dries out Friday night, watch what happens on Saturday. Just watch. It's nice. I'm enjoying it. This is going to be a beautiful weekend in store for us. You've got sunny skies in the forecast, no rain. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer, but only reaching in the upper 70s and low 80s. There is a beach hazard statement still until 5 o'clock today along the coast here. Sneaker waves, if you live in the area, you know what those are. Those are waves that can basically, out of nowhere, sweep you up under your feet. Especially if you're rock hopping, it can be very dangerous. So just be careful on the beaches here the rest of the afternoon. So for today, temperatures topping out around 70, give or take, for the valley. 60s for most of the higher elevations and low to mid 60s for the coast. Tonight, low to mid 50s for the valley, 40s for the higher elevations, and upper 40s to low 50s for the coast. So let's take a look at your 7-day forecast, starting off with the valley. Dry by tomorrow, dry through the weekend, low 80s. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast for the coast, inland and Trinity County. There you can see dry conditions for your Friday. As mentioned, any rain that we do see tomorrow will be mainly east of the valley, so that's why it will be dry Friday for the coast, inland, and Trinity County, and all the way at least through the middle of next week. For Siskiyou County, there you can see dry on Friday. However, for Modoc County and Lassen and Plumas counties, you've got a chance for showers, maybe some thunderstorms again for tomorrow afternoon and even the morning. Saturday through the weekend, we're dry. Now, I'm still keeping that slight chance on Monday. Just note that there's a very good chance you may actually not see anything Monday, Tuesday, but I'm just putting it in there for safe measure. I want you to be aware of that if you do live in Lassen and Plumas counties, as there is that slight chance for some showers. Keep a close eye on that forecast over the next several days, and as we approach the weekend going into next week, we'll have a better handle as to whether or not that will occur. But in the meantime, should be dry through the weekend and through a good portion, if not all, of next week. All right, that's your afternoon update. I'll be back again this evening for a more detailed look at your forecast and your Krueger's Deep Dive coming up at 6 o'clock this evening. Have a great rest of your day.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.